Hey, it's Andy with Midmo Dents. Today we're going to be ceramic coating and tinting a brand new Fisker Ocean. Stick around for this one. We're going to have some tips on ceramic coating matte paint and also what it took to tint the windows on this thing. This was a little more challenging, but I think you'll like it. Check it out.
Alright, we got this thing pulled in. Let's give it a good looking over before we start doing the window tint. First, we're going to start by taking the door panels loose. That way we can get that weather strip out the top. That's going to give us a good gap that we can get the tint snuck behind there without getting any kind of dirt. First, he's going to start cleaning the windows. We're going to use a stainless steel razor blade to get any kind of dirt, adhesive, and basically anything that would be stuck to the window. That razor blade will get that off there without hurting the glass. As you can see, he's already got the molding taped off there to the side. That is a felt molding, so if we tape those off, that'll help keep those little pieces of felt out of the tint. Gave her one last clean, and now he's got it wet. I'm going to get our pattern wet, and then he's going to bring that over, and we'll be ready to put it on there. I'm going to start sneaking it in the bottom first, making sure we're not touching anything like the door panel or anything like that. Now he's lining it up. We'll start by squeegeeing the water out of the top before we'll roll the window up, that we can squeegee the water out of the bottom. He's making sure those edges are stuck down good so they don't peel up. Now he's going to start squeegeeing the water out of the bottom. One more press on the outside edges again to make sure they stick good. Now we're checking it over to make sure there's nothing in the tint we need to worry about. Now he's going to get that weather strip put back in there. Getting the door panel popped back on there. Taking the tape off the felt. Cleaning off the door panel just to get our soapy water off there. We already did these little quarter windows on the front. He's just hard carding them down, checking them over. Then we'll move on to the back door here shortly. As you can see, he's already got this one taped off and he's starting to clean on it already. These will work pretty much the same as the front. Door panel came loose, weather strip came out. He's going to go ahead and get that one stuck on there. Really, the two side windows are really no different than any other car. The only one that we really had problems with, and we had to come up with a kind of a creative solution on, was that back quarter window, because they actually roll down. After we finally figured out how to roll that thing down, and actually had to use a suction cup on the outside of the window so we could make a gap on the inside. So we had to pull the window actually out slightly. Now we're going to start getting this thing ready for ceramic coating. So this is going to start off just like every other normal ceramic coating. We're going to do a good thorough wash on it. Get this thing soaked down, get all the bug guts and debris off of it. Then the hardest part is with matte paint, you can't really use any aggressive cleaners like degreasers. Another thing is you got to be very careful that you don't put any scratches in it, because you can't polish matte paint like you would any normal paint. So if it ever does get a scratch, unfortunately it's going to be there. So now you're going to see they're mitting this thing down still. And then after we get this thing cleaned up, they're going to have to do the good thorough dry on this thing, because a professional grade ceramic coating, whenever moisture touches the ceramic coating, it will actually harden instantly. So it would leave basically a shiny, milky spot on the paint. And again, unfortunately, we can't polish that off there. So that's going to be the most important part of the prep process. So we'll wait till he gets this thing sprayed down. Now he's going to go ahead and start drying it off, like I said, making sure that every crack and crevice, all the water's blown out of there. Any normal car, it wouldn't be killer if we didn't do that, but it still wouldn't be good either. Now we're going to move it over to the other bays, so that way we're outside of the wash bay, that there's no chance of getting any extra water on this thing if they did pull in and wash another car. I'm going to go through around the wheels, all the trim pieces, make sure all that water's out of there, and then we're going to move on to using a prep spray. This is kind of like what a body shop would use whenever they're prepping a panel, except for this has a little extra lubricant in it, so that way it doesn't scratch the paint. Found a couple spots that we actually needed to clean off some little tree sap, so all we're using is just an all-purpose cleaner. Now we're moving into ceramic coating this. As you can see, it's very glossy when it goes on, and really the hardest part about matte paint is making sure that this thing levels perfectly. So he's going to use a 3-towel method on this thing and make sure that whenever it's done and he's checked it over, that it looks perfect the way we want it. Now we're going to keep going panel by panel until we get this thing done. Really matte paint, the only difference between it is you just have to make sure that your flash times are a lot less. If the thing over flashes and the ceramic does come hard, then obviously you're not in good shape at that point. So we're going to go through and finish this thing up. Fortunately, rookie mistake, my GoPro dies, so we're not going to see all the coats on it. But I did get a little bit of after footage. This thing turned out awesome. Customer was really happy with it. And little known fact, he told me this is one of the few of them that's actually in Missouri, and lucky we got to do it first. Hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully my amateur video wasn't too bad. If you got any questions on ceramic coating or window tinting on one of these, let us know in the comments, and we'll go through and answer any questions that you got. Next week we're going to have a Jeep Gladiator that we ceramic coated. I promise my GoPro was charged and it's a pretty good video. If you need anything, let us know. Thanks for watching.